Hi, my name is Niesman. I am a junior in the Teaching of Spanish program, and joining us today on 940 Feet is Professor Rodríguez-López. Thank you for joining me today. Let's dive right in. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Who are you and your expertise?
Great. Well, my name is Joaquín Rodríguez-López. I'm a professor of chemistry in the University of Illinois. I also collaborate with the Beckman Institute and with the Materials Research Lab. And essentially, I am a chemist. Technically, I am an analytical chemist, which means that I develop new ways to look at chemical reactions in the laboratory. I also like to say proudly that I am a teacher, I am a researcher, I am a father, and I'm a member of a community.
Very cool. So you're a teacher here. Let's elaborate a little bit more on that. What's your favorite course to teach here and why?
Great. So yes, as I mentioned, I do a type of chemistry that is called analytical chemistry, in which one uses different resources. One uses light, electrons, fancy and interesting instruments to dive into how chemical reactions happen. So that's what I teach, and that's one of the most joyous things that I find here at the University of Illinois, being able to transmit how one can design very ingenious systems so that one can obtain the information, about nature, right? So I teach an advanced instrumental analysis lecture in which, fortunately, I get the opportunity to work with a really large set of students. I have about 180 students right now, and we discuss in lecture, but we also do activities in the classroom that help them really discover this joy for analytical chemistry.
That's amazing. And what are some of the most important chemistry developments in today's world right now?
Well, I work specifically in a type of chemistry that is called electrochemistry. It's the ability to perform chemical reactions with electricity or to use or to obtain electricity from chemical reactions. And so, as you know, renewable energy technologies like solar energy or like wind energy, wind here at Illinois, they're really taking over, right, in our way in which we think about a sustainable future, and they're really taking over chemistry as well. So we're using that energy, those electrons, to perform direct chemical reactions, and the way to perform them is precisely through the types of things that I study, right? How do you take materials, catalysts, so that you can input that energy and obtain the type of chemicals that you want? Or how do you store that energy, for instance, in advanced batteries? Okay, or how do you use and combine, for instance, solar energy and electricity to make new types of molecules? So it's a really exciting field right now, and we're just right in the middle of doing, all sorts of discoveries.
That's really amazing. And when you're teaching all of these, what is the most rewarding thing about being a professor?
To see discovery in the eyes of students. That's always the most interesting and the most fun thing to see. In this world, we're so connected, there's so much information available to them that sometimes, many students kind of lose that ability to be surprised. But when you tell them about something like, we can use an instrument to look at individual atoms on a surface, or we can use instruments that tell you, for instance, how a molecule is reacting, piece by piece by piece, just like they picture that in their general chemistry textbook. That moment of discovery is priceless as well.
That's amazing. So I'm going to hit you with some rapid fire questions, Craig.
Sure, that's it.
What advice would you give to your 18-year-old self?
So my 18-year-old self, keep on going, keep on doing what you're doing.
That's amazing.
And I look back at my life and I have zero regrets about the way that I've done things in terms of, sticking to your dream, right? I knew very early that I wanted to be a scientist since I was a child. And it was about deciding what type of scientist I wanted to become. I decided about chemistry and I've never looked back.
That's amazing. Can you describe U of I in 3 words?
U of I in 3 words, wow, that's a real challenge.
It is.
But I'll tell you one thing. I'll describe it in 1 word.
Okay.
Opportunity.
Ooh, I do like that.
It's a place where you are capable of assembling teams of people that are interdisciplinary. That means that they work in different fields, and that allows you to really advance projects very quickly. It's a place where you can find extremely talented people, undergraduates, that somehow find you, right? It's been a very rewarding thing to have undergraduate students from all over campus, not just from chemistry, from electrical engineering, from mechanical science, and from material science and engineering, in addition to chemistry and chemical engineering, that come to your laboratory and say, I want to work with you. And so that opportunity, the ability to create your microenvironment, to give them the opportunity to discover things and to learn together, that's just what I'm here for.
That's amazing. And with all these opportunities, if you were to give a campus tour, what's one must-see place that you would hit on that tour?
For a campus tour, I love walking with people in the engineering quad. I love to show them, in many places around campus, we actually have plaques that celebrate great discoveries that have happened at the University of Illinois. Even in my own course, I sometimes ask the students to go and take a selfie at landmarks, right? The discovery of nuclear magnetic resonance, the development of magnetic resonance imaging, the discovery of superconductivity. And so sometimes I like to walk people around where these plaques are available and show them, all the great things that have happened in here. Certainly, when I teach my students, I tell them about great things that have happened right there where they are sitting in the classroom.
Very cool. My very last question, orange or blue?
I'm gonna have to go with blue.
Thanks for joining us today, and thank you for watching 940 Feet.